Good morning, friends. How are you all feeling today? I know I personally am very grateful because my body is feeling a lot better than it was um, on Tuesday. And before we start joint rolls and warming up, wherever you're at, do a body scan. And I realize I've been assuming everyone watching these videos and attending class knows what a body scan is, and that might not be true for everybody. And so, what I mean by that is to either start at your head and work your way down, or start at your feet and work your way up. Notice each part of your body. Notice where you're holding tension, where hurts, where feels fantastic, where feels like it has space. Notice how you're connecting with the floor or whatever furniture you may be sitting on or near, or whatever part of the landscape you're on. And as you're scanning, you may want to do some micro movements, rocking the pelvis back and forth a bit to see how free the hips are, or how tight or released the lower back is. Noticing the neck. I say that in part because I hold a lot of tension in my neck. And that is definitely a habit in lots of the global West. Noticing your face, noticing how your skin feels dry, moist, taut, loose. And then with that information about yourself, let us warm up. And so choose whether you want to be standing, sitting up, or lying down to begin. And if you have been standing for many of these passes and have been always starting with the same foot, switch it up. Start with the opposite foot. Putting some weight on the outer edges of your foot, those little tippy tops of your toes and the back of the heel. And you can play with how near or how far that leg is away from your center. When you've done it evenly on both sides, come back to center wherever that is for you. Notice what's different and notice what's the same before shifting. And also noticing what the rest of the body does while the movement is focused on the feet, because of course it's affects more than just our feet. into the ankles. Lots of breath. Letting sound fall out. And making sure that you do even rotations right and left, and an even amount of rotations on each side. So I guess another way of saying that is make sure each ankle goes clockwise and counterclockwise an even amount of times, and that your right and your left foot have even rotations. To the knees, letting your feet be just about an inch apart. 3 gentle rotations in each direction. Noticing how it affects the feet and the hips. Coming into a wide second with feet not quite parallel, and letting the knees gently drop towards the midline 3 times, and gently open out away from the midline 3 times. Into our lovely luscious hips. And as always, with this wonderful epicenter connecting our top half and bottom half, we can hold a lot of tension here. And so playing with the different ways to isolate around is super helpful. And if you notice that you're doing your rotations from the waist, put your hands on your hips and just feel what it is like to go back and forth, right to left with those hips, keeping the upper body relatively still, definitely letting there be play in the knees, and then front and back. I'll do this way for a better view. Because it is more important to really make sure that you are warming up the hips and really feeling into your pelvis today than trying to get really big movements. Because what my body can do with lots of years of dance background may be very different than what your body can do. And that's great. That is absolutely fantastic. And so when you have equal rotations, right, clockwise and counterclockwise with your hips, coming up to that waist, making sure that you're staying strong in your legs, but not clenched in your legs. Releasing the kneecaps and the thighs. I also tend to clench on the sides of my hips, so you'll frequently see me place my hands here and give a little shake and jiggle to make sure that I'm not clenching and that I release any tension that's there. To the shoulders. Now, one thing that that is not necessarily easy to show in this kind of camera, I think, well, I'll pin myself so maybe it can be a little clearer. But so the impulse to swing that arm actually comes from the heel of the same arm. So my momentum is coming from my right heel to swing my right arm forward and across my chest. And similarly, my momentum is coming from I'm going to sort of like exaggerate here, but from the left heel. And it kind of looks like it's coming from my hips because of this angle. But that impulse starts at the heel of the left foot before bringing the left arm up and over and across the body. If you want to do some shoulder shrugs and roll it back and let it fall down, you can. Making sure that we are staying away from pinchy back and inviting wide scapula, back, wide shoulder blades. And arms out to the side to give some rolls for the elbows. And clasping the hands and then reversing the clasp. To give some rolls to the wrists. There. Had to release that tension. And to the neck and head. Again, letting that impulse come from C7, where the neck ends and the chest begins. Checking in with that lower body, giving a little bounce if you need to, giving a little plie, straighten, clench, release if needed, as needed. And letting the movement of the head slowly be following the movement of the neck, instigated by C7. And if you want, you can let breath fall out of loose lips. You can also roll a hum, which is this. So when I'm doing that, I am letting my lips just so barely stay together and letting, again, the impulse for movement always come from C7, letting the neck roll around and just noticing what happens with the sound in your mouth while doing that. And then to bring the head back up, letting it float. You might notice that you have some additional tension, some places that you want to add some massage hands to help work out. And then coming to the head, Placing your finger, if you need to, right where the skull uh, floats on top of the vertebra, where that little divot is at the back of your head. And gently rolling little teeny tiny circles, letting the neck be still, letting the jaw be loose. If any other part of your body starts to tense up while doing this, take a moment, give it some love and release before coming back. Oh. And today, I'm feeling the need for a little more blood flow. So we are going to give each other, we're going to start off with some little teeny tiny taps all over our body. And then we'll move to some strong squeeze, pressure, massage, pulling out the ears all over the body. And then we'll wipe down. And I will lightly lead from top to bottom, but if you need a little extra time and a little extra love in any particular place, absolutely do that. So starting with the head and the face, just gently tapping down the body, making sure that you get into the armpit, tapping your back body as well as you are able to, tapping the torso and the legs, and each leg at a time. Tapping the feet. Maybe you want to sit down for this. And noticing the sensations coursing through your body before going in for some massage. Massage at the scalp. Maybe you want to give your hair a little bit of a tug if you have hair. Maybe you want to give your eyebrows a good pinch and a pull. Your cheeks, and a flush on your cheeks. Pulling your ears away from your head. Massaging your neck and jaw. When doing your jaw, make sure that if you are at the back where the jaw hinges to the ears, that your circles are up and back, and that if you're back behind the ears, that it's back and down. I don't remember why that was important from massage, but I remember it being important. And squeezes of the arms. I like to get in on the pecs. There can be a lot of tension held there. Squeezing the back and glutes and belly as thighs, legs. You can work standing if you want to have a little balance challenge or not. Giving a nice rub and squeeze. Whew. My feet are so cold. Noticing the temperature differences at different parts of your body. And then noticing those sensations before giving a full body wipe down. Whew. Getting the underside of the feet if you can. Whew. All right. So before we get into our Four of Swords, let's do some pour breathing. And choose where it is you would like to be for pour breathing today. And if it feels good for you and your body, close your eyes and bring your awareness to your skin. Your skin newly invigorated with blood and breath and presence, attention and love. And imagine all of those pores all over your skin, front, back, visible, hidden are your little tiny mouths opening up for air, breathing in with every part, breathing in air, breath, wind, yellows, light blues, clears with every pore on your body. Maybe your breath wants to have sound with it. Maybe breathing in with every single pore. Is helped by a tone. Inhaling and exhaling through all of the little teeny tiny mouths all over our skin, on the soles of our feet, behind our knees, in the folds of our ears, underneath all of our body hair. For those of us that have body hair, and feel and keeping that airy effervescence. Whatever color or colors that might be associated with for you. Bring your attention to your cards or the cards on camera. The Four of Swords, the Four of Quills. Make not your thoughts your prisons, from Antony and Cleopatra, is the quote that A. Bronwyn Llewellyn chose for her Four of Quills. Maybe that resonates for you. Maybe that doesn't. And letting your body choose the first shape that you are going to go into today. And take shape. And breathe into that shape. And maybe that shape has a movement that wants to happen. Maybe it's still, and you're simply feeling how the breath moves through that shape. Take another shape. And breathe into that shape. And allow your body to go back and forth between the two shapes. And if you've chosen a gesture that is specific for one hand or one side of the body, see what it's like to add in changing it up. So if your right hand is going to the forehead, what is it to put the left hand to the forehead? And add a third shape. And bring that shape into rotation. Going from shape 1 to shape 2 to shape 3. Letting the breath lead you. And play with all of the different ways, with lots of the different ways to get in and out of your shapes. How can you get into your shape to and from in a very indirect way? If you find yourself thinking about it a lot, let those thoughts go and follow the body impulse. And you can play with doing your shapes, sitting, standing, taking a long time to go between them, or a short amount of time. And let that go. Notice what's different. Notice what's the same. Maybe take a moment to write about what you've learned in these shapes, what you want to return to one day. Make not your thoughts your prisons. Mm. Now, this combination, as we shift into wands and fire, this is a place where these two decks are vastly different in their interpretation of this energy. Our Shakespeare quote is "Delays have dangerous ends," which I don't know a lot about the Toth and Marseille schools of thought, so that might be very in line with one of them. But from the RWS, the Rider-Waite-Smith school of thought, our Four of Wands is one of the marriage cards of the deck. And Yeah, I am, the differences therein between these 2 fascinates me. Um, and you, of course, may well be working with your own deck, which is a beautiful, marvelous thing. Bound with your deck. And find the place or the shape that you want to do pour breathing of fire with today. Mm. And bring your attention back to your skin. The largest organ, covered in hundreds and hundreds of pores. Little teeny tiny mouths that are opening to breathe in fire. Letting fire come into each one of the little teeny tiny mouths all over your skin. Feel the warmths, the reds and yellow, oranges, drinking in the heat of fire. Through every pore on your front body, including all of the hidden ones. Every pore on your back body, including all the hidden ones. The pores that are in all of the wrinkles and folds of skin. Our body's creases. Inhaling fire and exhaling heat. Glowing with oranges and red. Maybe even some of those super hot white and blue flames. Or if fire has a different color correspondence for your tradition, whatever it is for you. With that awareness of fire in your pores, look to your 4 of Wands and see what shape your body wants to take. Breathe into that shape, whether it is people, plant, fabric, air, vegetation, scepter, wand, rod, quarterstaff. Breathe into that shape. And choose a second shape, or maybe a gesture. And after breathing fire in that shape, go between one and the other. Having fun with all of the different ways that your body can go from one shape to the other. Letting it be inspired by fire. And choose your third shape. Bring that in. Moving from shape 1 to shape 2 to shape 3. Letting the breath in the body and fire inspire and inform your movements. How you get from 1 to 2 to 3. From 3 to 2 to 1 of the shape. And let that go. Notice what's different. Notice what's the same. Grab a drink of water. Take a little time to write. And letting that go, or pausing the video to give yourself as much time as you need to write and reflect. And coming back to air. Coming back to the 4 of Swords. And you can let the pour breathing go if you are feeling a little too open right now. You may just rub wipe your hands down your body. Come back, come back to yourself again. And coming back to the Four of Swords and the shape that is staying with your body for the Four of Swords. And once you are in that shape, notice where it is in your body, if it uses your whole body or if it is just a part of an appendage or something small. And whatever it is for you today, give that 3 intentional breaths. Holding in your mind 4 of Swords with those 3 intentional breaths. And allowing your body to shift into the shape of the 4 of Wands, letting your body transition into that shape however it wants to. And whichever of those shapes, or maybe even a new shape that your body is holding for the 4 of Wands. And whatever that is, give that 4 of Wands shape 3 intentional breaths. And let that go. Now, if you have been doing the videos in succession, we will start with our gesture for the Ace, to the 2 of Swords, to the 3 of Swords, to the 4 of Swords, and then do the same for Wands or Rods or Sceptres. And if you are jumping in to this video without having done the Ace 2 and 3, that's okay. Whatever shape your body instinctively goes to is what you play with today, and that is absolutely beautiful. So, starting with the swords. Ace. 2, 3, 4. Ace. 2, 3, 4. Ace. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. Ace. 4, 3, 2. Ace. 3, 2, 3, 4. Ace. 4. Ace. 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2. Ace. 2, and let that go. I surprised y'all with a little bit. And 4, fire. Remembering your shape for the Ace of Wands, the 2 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, the Ace, the 2, the 3, the 4, the Ace, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 3, the 2, the Ace, the 2, the Ace, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 3, the 4, the Ace, the 4, the Ace, the 4, the Ace, the 2, the 3, the 2, the 3, the 4, and let that go. Notice what's different. Notice what's the same. Notice what shapes your body remembered really well, and what shapes your body maybe didn't remember, or maybe that your body kept shifting to. My Ace of Wands kept going back and forth between two of the shapes that I created. And that's okay. All of this body knowing and body awareness are extra layers of understanding for you and connection with your cards, and also connection with the individuals that you're reading for. When you notice gestures that someone has, shapes someone has that you're reading for, whether or not the card that you associate with them comes up in the reading, you can ask. You can ask questions because ultimately, all of this is a tool for healing of self, of others, of world. Mm. Thank you for your kind attention and practice and exploration. And uh, as a reminder, this Thursday class will be in the evening. I had sent out an email saying 6 o'clock. That might actually be changing to 4 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time. And then we'll be back at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Getting so close to Halloween as well. Have a beautiful day.